In quiet neighborhoods, power goes wrong.
The courtroom was silent. Not the calm kind. The dangerous kind where everyone is holding their breath because something feels wrong. My daughter sat beside me. Small. Pale. A portable heart monitor clipped to her belt, its quiet beep, beep, echoing in my skull. She was 13. A heart patient. And today, she was supposed to be protected by the law. Instead, she was attacked by it. Order in the court. The judge hadn't even finished the sentence when it happened. A blur of movement. A chair scraping back. And then, HOA Karen lunged across the aisle. She screamed something about liars and special treatment as her hand came down hard on my daughter's chest. Right where her heart device was. My daughter gasped. The monitor shrieked. And the courtroom exploded. Let me rewind, because what you're about to hear makes what happened even worse. This wasn't a criminal trial. It was a civil hearing. All we had done was file a complaint against the HOA. That's it. My daughter was born with a congenital heart condition. She couldn't run. She couldn't climb stairs without stopping. And she wore a medical bracelet everywhere she went. The HOA president, that woman, had decided my daughter was faking it. She fined us for parking too close to the building, using an elevator during restricted hours, installing a medical ramp without aesthetic approval. When we provided doctor letters, she laughed. So we went to court. HOA Karen walked in like she owned the place. Designer suit. Perfect hair. That same tight smile she used when she said things like, "Rules apply to everyone." She glanced at my daughter's heart monitor. Rolled her eyes. I saw it. And something cold settled in my stomach. The judge was clear. This court will maintain decorum, he said. No outbursts. No personal attacks. She nodded. Smiled. Then leaned toward her attorney and whispered something that made him stiffen. My daughter's voice shook as she spoke. I just want to go to school without being scared, she said. I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong just for being sick. The courtroom softened. Even the judge leaned forward. Everyone except her. HOA Karen scoffed. Actually scoffed. Our lawyer asked one simple question. Did the HOA knowingly ignore medical documentation? Before anyone could answer. She snapped. She's exaggerating. Karen yelled. My taxes don't pay for her problems. The judge slammed the gavel. Ma'am, you will. Too late. She stood up. Fast. Too fast. And crossed the aisle before security even realized what was happening. Her hand struck my daughter's chest. Not a punch. A shove. But on a heart patient? That's all it took. My daughter collapsed back in her chair. The monitor went wild. High-pitched alarms screamed through the courtroom. Call an ambulance, someone shouted. The judge stood up, face white. Security rushed forward, but they hesitated. And that hesitation almost cost my daughter her life. I was already on my feet, shielding her. She has a heart condition. I yelled. Don't touch her, get a medic. My daughter clutched my sleeve. Dad, she whispered. I can't breathe. While everyone focused on my daughter. On the alarms. On the screaming. They didn't notice the doors at the back of the courtroom open. Quietly. 3 men stepped in. Uniforms. Dark green. Military police. And every single one of them was looking straight at me. The judge hadn't ordered them in. The police outside hadn't called them. So why were they here? And why did the lead officer raise his hand and say, "Sir, we need you to step away from your daughter"? The room froze. Not because of the screaming alarm. Not because my daughter was gasping for air in my arms. But because of the uniforms. Dark green. Pressed. No badges from this courthouse. Military police. The lead officer repeated himself, calm but unyielding. "Sir, please step aside." I looked up at him. "My daughter is having a cardiac event," I said. "She doesn't leave my sight." His eyes flicked to the heart monitor. Then to the medic already sprinting in from the hallway. Then back to me. "Yes, sir," he said quietly. "That's why we're here." People were whispering now. The judge looked furious. "This is a civilian courtroom," he barked. "Who authorized military presence?" The officer didn't raise his voice. "With respect, Your Honor," he said, "this situation now involves federal jurisdiction." That sentence landed like a dropped plate. Federal. The judge's face changed. Up until that moment, she had still looked defiant. Shaken but defiant. Then she noticed something. Every military police officer was positioned between her and us. Not protecting her. Containing her. Her lawyer leaned close and whispered urgently. "What's happening?" she hissed. He didn't answer. Because he was staring at me. Here's what the courtroom didn't know yet. This case wasn't being watched because of HOA fines. It was being watched because of me. I hadn't told anyone. Not even my lawyer wanted it public. I was active duty military assigned to a joint task force dealing with domestic authority abuse cases involving vulnerable civilians. My daughter's file? It had already been flagged. Because this wasn't the first complaint against that HOA. Just the first one that made it to court. A paramedic knelt beside my daughter. "She's tacky," he said. Blood pressure dropping. My daughter's lips were pale. Her fingers trembled as she clutched her monitor. "Dad, it hurts," she whispered. I held her hand. "I've got you," I said, steady even though my chest felt like it was tearing open. The judge slammed the gavel again. "Clear the aisle. Now." The lead military police officer turned to the judge. "Your Honor," he said, "with your permission, we're placing the defendant under temporary detainment." The courtroom erupted. "You can't do that," her lawyer shouted. "This is outrageous." The officer didn't even look at him. "Assault on a medically fragile minor," he said evenly. "Captured on multiple recordings. Witnessed by court personnel." He paused. "And there is additional evidence." Screens lit up. Not court exhibits. Federal files. Emails. Internal HOA messages. Complaints marked dismissed. One message glowed in bold text. "If we give exceptions to sick kids, everyone will want one." Another. "Make her family uncomfortable enough, they'll leave." My stomach dropped. I'd never seen those. But she had written them. The judge leaned back slowly. "This court is recessed," he said. "Effective immediately." He looked at her. "Ma'am, do not speak." She tried anyway. "I didn't mean," she exaggerated, "I was provoked." "Ma'am," the military police officer said, stepping closer, "you are not helping yourself." They didn't cuff her. Not yet. But they did escort her away from the table. And that's when she finally looked at me, not with anger. With fear. "You planned this," she said hoarsely. I met her eyes. "No," I said. "You did." My daughter was rushed down the hall. Doctors took over. Doors closed. I stood there, hands shaking for the first time that day. The military police officer approached. "Sir," he said, lowering his voice, "we'll need your statement when you're ready." I nodded. "How bad is it?" I asked. He didn't lie. It was close. Within an hour, the footage leaked. Not by us. by a court clerk who couldn't stomach what she'd seen. Headlines exploded. HOA president attacks heart patient child in court. Military police detain civilian after courtroom assault. Public opinion wasn't split. It was unified. Late that night, my phone rang. A number I recognized immediately. "This is the regional director," the voice said. "We're taking over the case." I closed my eyes. "Good," I said. I sat beside my daughter's hospital bed. Machines hummed softly now. "Stable." She looked at me. "Did I do something wrong?" she asked. My heart shattered. "No," I said firmly. "You survived someone else's wrong." She squeezed my hand. "Will she come back?" I leaned close. "No," I said. "She won't." The courthouse steps were packed. News vans. Cameras. Microphones pointed like weapons. The woman who once ruled our neighborhood with a clipboard now walked between two military police officers. No smile. No shouting. No authority. Just silence. The prosecutor didn't soften a single word. Assault on a medically fragile minor. Aggravated assault inside a courtroom. Abuse of authority. Civil rights violations. Witness intimidation. And then the one that made her lawyer visibly flinch. Federal obstruction of justice. The courtroom murmured. This wasn't an HOA issue anymore. This was history. They played it again. The attack. The monitor screaming. My daughter collapsing. But this time, the camera zoomed out. It showed the judge rising. Security hesitating. And then, the military police entering. The jury watched without blinking. No spin. No excuses. Just truth. Her lawyer tried. She was under stress. The judge cut him off. "Stress does not justify violence," he said coldly. "Especially against a child." She tried to speak. The judge raised a hand. "You've said enough in this court." The jury returned faster than anyone expected. The foreperson stood. "On all counts, we find the defendant guilty." She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just stared forward like someone watching their old life disappear. Because it was. The judge spoke slowly, deliberately. "You used power meant to serve," he said, "to harm someone who depended on protection." He sentenced her to prison time, permanent removal from all HOA and civic boards, lifetime ban from holding community authority positions, mandatory restitution, federal probation. Then he looked directly at her. "This court will remember you," he said, "as an example, not a leader." The HOA dissolved within weeks. Policies were rewritten statewide. New laws passed. Medical exemptions must be honored. HOA authority limited. Emergency and medical conditions legally protected. Her name became a case study. Not of power. Of failure. I was in my daughter's hospital room when she asked, "Dad, is it over?" The heart monitor beeped steadily now. "Yes," I said softly. "It's over." She thought for a moment. "Does that mean I'm safe?" I swallowed hard. "Yes," I said. "You always were." The world just caught up. Weeks later, we passed the courthouse again. My daughter looked up at it. "That's where she yelled at me," she said. "And where she lost," I replied. She smiled, small, but real. Authority without empathy becomes cruelty. But accountability? That's how justice breathes. And sometimes, it walks in wearing green uniforms.